Welcome, guys. This is a new show we're starting called, what was it called again?
Off Topik Brothers.
The Off Topik Brothers. Hello, guys. My name is Juan Caballero. This is
Dickson Barrera.
Alright, and we are starting a new channel. We are basing this off of conversations we've always had. Because honestly, it gets kind of crazy when we're talking. And then we had the idea of starting this with our friend. And she's going to be behind the camera, but she doesn't want to talk right now. It doesn't matter. We are the Off Topik Brothers. We're not actually related. Anyway, we're not actually related. But we're just close enough, we get along enough that it just actually seemed like a good idea. It's almost like, well, he acts like my brother because my family's like that. But anyway, so let's start off this show. It's going to be mostly about different topics because I actually lost my train of thought. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm sorry. All right, let me get this together. Okay, so this is the Off Topik Brothers. This is a show where we'll be discussing different things. It could be anywhere from gender roles to sexuality, nationality, because a lot of those things define who we are.
Correct. And
expand our worlds and other worlds as we get along with each other. So today's episode is going to be about gender roles. That's the first one. And we're going to start off with my friend Dickson here because he has a really interesting point.
So my opinion on gender roles, a very specific opinion, would be the role of a mother raising a child. I think we live in an age when children are pretty much orphans with parents in this day and age. The reason why that occurs is that a mother desires to have a career path, and I can understand, sometimes a family needs the extra money and to provide for the family, and it gives a woman a feeling of empowerment to create her own wage and help the family out. But I always, in my opinion, I always believe that a woman raising a child is such a beautiful gift. There's nothing more special than that, because when you raise a child, you're trying to implement them, good values, how you should treat a woman, how you should be a husband. And most of the time, a child without their mother constantly being there, I feel like they lose themselves in a way that they got to discover who they are. And, do you have any opinion on that?
All right. Well, I do actually agree on that because a lot of women feel empowered to be able to work, but you have to consider that a lot of the case is there's single mothers out in the world. In my case, my mom raised us by herself because when I was 3 years old, my dad took off. So what happened is she was a single mother, 3 sons who don't know what they're gonna do from that point on. So she was working 2 to 3 jobs every day. She didn't have time for us, but we understood that it wasn't that she was being selfish, that she was just trying to keep us safe and to take care of us. So I've never really blamed her for that. It just always felt like something that I appreciated, that she was willing to sacrifice so much of her time and her life, dedicating it to us. But I do get your point, because there is families who have both a mother and father who are never there for the kids. And that just seems wrong to me, because in the few moments that she had of free time, she dedicated it to us. So it feels like there has to be a balance somewhere.
Yeah. I have a very similar role as you. My mom and my father worked completely all their life. But I can say, and you can say, you can truly understand not having your mother constantly there for you. Obviously, towards the end of the day, she's tired. She's still willing to do your laundry and clean your room and make food for you, after a hard day of work. Yeah. But, there's always that missing of your mother in your childhood consistently being there and raising you,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. When you're very young, you start to feel almost an anger towards them for a small period of time. But that's before you really begin to grasp the way things are, because the reality of the world hasn't set in yet. As I got older and I began to understand the difficulties she's facing and just how tired she is from all the things that she has to do, I began to love her more for it. Because the whole thing is that she had the choice of giving us a better life by giving her time and her years into working and taking care of us and doing the best she could by herself. And there's some parents who would choose themselves over their own children and would spend that free time that they have dedicating it to themselves. And when I see families like that, I just feel more appreciative towards what I had, even though that when I was younger, I was selfish and wasteful of what I had.
So my question towards you is, what happened if a father has a wage that, you know, can take care of the whole family, but the woman desires to still pursue a career? You know, do you believe that's right? Do you believe, you know, what's your opinion on that?
Well, my opinion on that is really that there, as I said before, that there needs to be a balance.
Okay.
If the mother wants to work, maybe she feels that she needs to be independent of herself. Because some people are like that they need to feel like they're in control of their own lives, that they can control their own destinies. And a big part of that is having their own wage and their own income, because it really gives a sense of control and a sense of freedom. It's something that it's something that's hard to describe for the people of a younger age. But once you grow older and you can finally afford the things that you need for yourself, and that you can depend on yourself to be able to give yourself those things, is when you begin to feel more complete. So I get that some mothers would feel that way. And honestly, I've always wanted to be a father, so I kind of get the idea that you're talking about of raising children, because I really want that in my future. But the same thing is that I want to be able to provide for them, so I would find a balance. That's my thing. It's find a place in between where you can work and be able to feel independent and capable, and not ignoring your kids, because, you know, they're a giant part of your world, as they should be.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree on you and that some aspects of that. But having, you know, I believe as the male, our role is to be a provider. You know, obviously, you know, not everyone can have a career that, you know, makes a lot of money, and that the woman relaxes her, you know, takes care of the children, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing a guy can do is take care of the woman and her needs, and expensive.
Yeah.
But you know, if the husband not able to create that wealth, doesn't mean he's less of a man. You know, that's when I believe a woman should help. And if she can't, you know, you can't force a woman to work. If she wants to take care of the children, take care of the children, because that's a hard burden in life. Yeah. There's also a beautiful thing to be a mother and to raise your children. Yeah. You know, it's a topic that, you know, there can be special cases for everything. You know, you can't always be firm on your ideas, because some people just can't do it on their own. Yeah.
A question I would have for both of you is, if your wife says something of, I want to hustle, and I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, like, how would you react to that? Because this has now become an issue, you know, here in the United States. As you know, divorce rates are literally 50% nowadays. Yeah. So, and the big part is because, you know, women want more independence besides infidelity. I mean, that's a whole separate issue. Yeah. But say your wife prefers to hustle over being a mother, what would you tell her?
You should go ahead first. All right. Let's see what you gotta say.
All right. Well, then for that, there's multiple options, right? You could, as I've said, you can find a balance between the two of you taking care of the kids, right? Or one thing that you can consider is, a lot of the time women can actually get further along in a career than her husband can. So in that case comes the circumstance of having a stay-at-home dad. Because that is something that's becoming more common in the U.S. It's something a lot of people don't realize, but yeah, a lot of the time there will be fathers who will be the ones who decide that they can stay at home, they can raise the kids, and that's always a possibility.
See, I agree that a father can be a stay-at-home, you know, but there's always special cases that a father is really good at taking care of children, but you know, a mother always has that special touch, you know, that she can balance 4 children and go take them to soccer games and clean their clothes and feed them and have time to still look pretty for her husband. You know, like, it's wow, like that's something a woman can always do. It's like amazing. A father takes care of the children. After that, he passes out. Has that, you know, he doesn't even want to spend time with his wife. Like, I had a hard day and complains. Yeah. But of course, you know, I do agree that there is fathers out there that are really able to take care of children and, you know, be just as good as a woman, you know. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of cases like that, and the roles can actually switch in the case of the woman working, because there in those relationships, there are also the cases where the woman will come home very tired, and then she doesn't really have the energy to deal with her kids and her husband. And so what that'll happen is it causes almost the same issue as when a man is the one that takes care of the family, is that you got to be able to put the energy into making your wife feel valued or making your husband feel valued, and realizing that there's your kids, you know? So the thing is that while I agree that in some case there are some fathers who don't have the same strength and the energy to take care of the kids like a mother does, but just the same, I believe a man has that potential. You know, if you really care enough and you really have the strength and the willpower to push yourself to that point, then I feel that you can make it, right? It shouldn't just be the few, it should be the many. And the idea behind that is it's within your own power to make that be how things are.
Okay, I get what you're saying. My opinion is very simple. I would be, somewhat disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not gonna force my wife to be okay. If you go to work, it's over. That's unreasonable to get like a divorce, something like that. I'm like, if you want to pursue your career, okay, I understand. We'll try and make this work. But if you ever want to quit, go ahead. I would rather you be home, raise the children, because I want them to be good kids.
Yeah.
And if I'm working, you're working. Who's gonna take care of them? We're gonna be both tired.
Yeah.
We can get a nanny, but we all know.
It's not the same.
My mother was a nanny. It's good to have a nanny. You can take care of the children, but your mother is the best nanny in the world. Okay,
All right, guys, this is where we're gonna be wrapping it up. Even though there's a lot of things we didn't consider, we can actually continue off with this on another episode if you guys would like.
Especially because we're the off topic.
We wandered off, but we came back. All right, we found our way back. All right, so it's gonna be nice to see you guys again in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and see us again next time.
See you next week.
All right.